I'm from Korea, amigo. Hey guys, it's me Catherine and it's Wednesday, so that can only mean one thing. I suppose actually it could mean anything, but today it means it's Top 5 Wednesday. And today's Top 5 Wednesday is Top 5 characters who you are most like. And it has to be characters that you're most like, not characters that you just want to be like. So we're going to start off with Georgia Nicolson from the Confessions of Georgia Nicolson series by Louise Renison. Now, I'm not like Georgia personality-wise because she's pretty rude and selfish, and I like to think that I'm not rude or selfish most of the time, but I'm like Georgia in the fact that we have sort of the same insecurities. Being 25, my insecurities aren't as big a deal to me as they were at the time when I read this, but I still sort of can connect with Georgia in that way. So she worries about having a big nose. That's something I used to worry about. It doesn't really bother me so much anymore, but sometimes I have those moments where I think, God, my nose is far too big for my face. I feel like that's not something that many protagonists worry about. Like, Georgia's the only one I know. They worry about like spots and maybe, actually, do they even worry about anything? Most protagonists are like perfect, aren't they? They're usually too small or just too clumsy, things that don't really matter. But I feel like I'm like her in that way, you know. I think like most teenagers could probably relate to George, like, is my nose too big? Oh my god, where is all this hair coming from? So next we're going to go with Alec Lightwood from the Mortal Instruments series. And I picked Alec because Alec is sort of like more of a background character. He's sort of a supporting role for Isabella. Is it Isabella or Isabel? Oh my god, I never... Izzy. Yeah, he's there as sort of a supporting role for Izzy and Jace and his family. And I feel like that's what I am. I mean, I don't know if my family would agree, but that's how I sort of feel. That's how I sort of look at myself. As I'm not the main character, I'm just like in the background, just helping them maybe make their life a little bit easier. Also, he's an older sibling, which I'm an older sibling. I'm also a younger sibling, but most of the time, my main job is being a big sister, and that is also something that I connect with Alec with. Does that even make sense? Wanting to protect your younger siblings and things like that. So Alec, yep. Next we'll go for Scudo. Oh my god, Scudo. Oh. It's because I want to say it like Scudo, but I don't know if that's. I mean that's the word, but I don't know if that's how you pronounce it name-wise. Scudo Tazaki, who doesn't think he's very remarkable. Yeah, he sort of felt like out of his friends, a group of friends at school, and even throughout the rest of his life, that he was completely unremarkable, that there was really nothing special about him, and he sort of wonders why people want to be friends with him. What is it about him that makes people want to be friends with him? Because he doesn't feel like there's anything particularly special or anything about him, and I sort of feel that way as well. I'm not saying I'm a boring person or anything, but you sort of wonder, when you're a person like me and you're friends with people who are much more confident, much more, at least from my point of view, they seem better, they seem to have better qualities, they just seem to be better at everything. I've been average at everything pretty much my entire life, and I can sort of relate to that feeling unremarkableness. Then I picked Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. Now, I picked Mr. Darcy because I feel like either you love Mr. Darcy or you don't. And even in our literature class, there were only 4 of us in class, and we were divided. There was two lasses in my class who loved Mr. Bingley, and then there was me and Emma who liked Mr. Darcy. Whether it was a coincidence or not, both me and Emma are very shy, very reserved people. I mean, we were, I don't know if Emma still is, and I can totally relate to Mr. Darcy's feelings. There is one bit in this book that I think I even wrote on it, yeah, I feel you, bro, I feel you, when Lizzie's gone to Rosings, she's gone to visit Charlotte and she's gone to visit Charlotte, and they go to visit Lady Catherine, at Rosings Park, and Mr. Darcy and Colonel Fitzwilliam are all there, and Lizzie is telling Colonel Fitzwilliam how when she first met Mr. Darcy, he danced only 4 dances. I'm sorry to pain you, but so it was. He danced only 4 dances, though gentlemen were scarce, and to my certain knowledge, more than one young lady was sitting down in want of a partner. Mr. Darcy, you cannot deny the fact. And Mr. Darcy says, I had not at that time the honour of knowing of knowing any lady in the assembly beyond my own party. True, and nobody can ever be introduced in a ballroom. And then the conversation goes on, and he says, I certainly have not the talent which some people possess, said Darcy, of conversing easily with those I have never seen before. I cannot catch their tone of conversation or appear interested in their concerns, as I often see done. And I totally and completely get that. When you're sitting down and someone says, why aren't you talking to us? I don't know anybody. He says, well, you're never going to know anybody if you don't talk to them. Yeah, but I can't, it's not that easy. I can't just go up to someone and talk to them, because it's just, I just can't do it. And that is one of the reasons I love Mr. Darcy, I guess, because I understand him. I mean, I don't have his upbringing, so I don't have the superior air that he obviously has that makes him appear rude and superior, basically. So I don't have that, but I am, no, my sister calls it my ice princess mode. When I'm in a place where I don't know people and I'm by myself, or I'm forced to do something that I'm really not comfortable with, I sort of, apparently I don't realise I'm doing it, but apparently I sort of come over all, I guess, stuck up maybe? Snooty? I don't know. So I totally get Mr. Darcy. I know a lot of people don't, but I totally get it. Me and Mr. Darcy, like one and the same, I guess, almost, except I don't have his money. And finally, I couldn't do this and not mention Catherine Fangirl. I mean, she writes fan fiction. I write fan fiction, not nearly as often as Kath does. I wish I could write as many words as she does every night. Or every week, or however often it is she does it. I think it's been months since I last wrote a chapter. She gets, obviously she's writing fan fiction because she's super attached to these fictional characters. I mean, we can all relate to that, right? Getting super attached to characters that aren't real and sort of letting them take over your life temporarily for a phase or ever. The one moment it is when she says that she doesn't know how the cafeteria works. I get that, because when you go somewhere new, you don't know if there's already some unwritten rules that you're not aware of yet. You know, like, you can't sit here, that's so-and-so's place, they always sit there, and until you know how it works, it's really hard to go there by yourself. If you're with somebody else, it's different. I mean, it's still not quite the same, because that other person has to be confident and has to know what they're doing and has to basically not care. But when I read that, I was just like, yes, so I'm not the only one that worries about stupid things like that. I am not alone in that. So that is it, guys, for this Top 5 Wednesday. As always, Top 5 Wednesday was created by Lainey from Ginger Reads Lainey. It is now currently being hosted by Sam from Thoughts on Tomes. I will link all the appropriate links in the description below. But that is it, guys, from me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a marvellous day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!